Keith Mulliken with the Techology Show. I'm here with Pastor Troy Evans, pastor of The Edge in Grand Rapids, Michigan. And if you were at Love Mercy in Charlotte just a few years ago, he was one of the speakers there, did an outstanding job, shared a little bit of his testimony. Troy, a lot of people may not even know what The Edge is, or what kind of church you are. Share with them a little bit about your passion and your vision for your church.
Yeah, the EDGE is a acronym. Actually, it comes from evangelism, discipleship, spiritual growth, and empowerment. And it basically is birthed out of my testimony of just being involved with gangs and stuff like that, and then God changing and transforming my life, and then me serving Him for the rest of my life, and then going back to where I was born and raised to go start a church that would relevantly reach out to people that are kind of rough around the edges.
Now, you guys were planted out of Kentwood Community Church, but now you guys also have a ministry and a work in Detroit. Tell us a little bit about what's going on in Detroit.
Yeah, through the Wesleyan Center there in Detroit, we've been there for about a year now, and the idea has always been that there'd be a church, and then the CCDA ministry would emerge, and then just do some things. It didn't happen that way. So we're now getting back on track with planning the church. I mean, just to see that we're being the church, but then doing the church things is something that we're going to do, which means to have a church service. But I mean, imagine 1,100 people coming through for food once every month, 150 bags of clothes given out monthly, barbershop inside of the church, and that kind of thing. That's happening now. But and in July we'll be doing our first church service in the form of hip hop church services.
Wow. Wonderful. Now, you guys are reaching really the least of these. You are reaching people who really financially they're barely making it by. And so, like you said, you told me earlier, only 24% of your support is coming from inside the church. And there may be somebody out there in rural America that maybe can be captivated by your story. How can they support your ministry, and how can they give to your ministry?
Yeah, the reality is that when you have 24% of your income coming from the inside, is that it does take people from the outside to believe that, man, this is actually the mission field. And that's exactly what it is. It's a domestic mission field. And basically, if someone were interested in supporting, they would go to theedgegr.com and then just kind of read a little bit about who we are, and I'll be more than happy to talk to them more about what we do.
Now, if people want to find out more about you, you wrote a book that's your story. It's called The Edge of Redemption. And if you've never heard Troy's story, it really sums up this book. It is a story of redemption. How did writing this book, how has it changed your life to put God's work in your life to pen and paper?
Oh man, it was amazing. One, I just had I was talking to both Baker Book House as well as Wesleyan Publishing, and I'm so glad I chose Wesleyan Publishing just to have really brothers and sisters in the Lord. I can ask them questions, to help me through the process. But it was really, for me, it was ministry to my soul. Going through being molested, and even saying that at this point now, men don't talk about those type of things. But to be able to put it in pen and paper, it's almost therapeutic, and God used it to minister to me, and I'm hoping that it ministers to people in the near future.
He's Pastor Troy Evans. If you go to WPHonline.com right now, go and buy his book, The Edge of Redemption, and then go to theedgegr.com, find out more about his ministry, pray for his ministry, and they are doing a great work. And like this theme yesterday at General Conference was, they are reaching the city. So, Troy, thanks for your time and thanks for your work. We'll see you guys later.
Indiana Wesleyan University.
The Wesleyan Church is the church that is associated with Indiana Wesleyan University. We brought a team together to think about how we might start a seminary that was something different from what was already out there. So you have this team teaching approach where you're not just looking at practice in one course and Bible in another course, but you're looking at them both in the same course and connected to each other.
I think it is important for the pastors to come here and understand a particular method of understanding culture and context so they can relate their principles to the particular community that they're serving.
We incorporate your being in ministry into the actual instruction. This is almost completely unique to Wesley Seminary. We thought that we could bring some of the skills that we've learned from training adults to the creation of a seminary, and by God's grace, we've done that.
Wesley Seminary at Indiana Wesleyan University. Change your life, change the world.